Have you ever heard this little jingle before? M-I, cricket letter I, cricket letter I, hump back I. That spells Mississippi. And yes, that's where I'm from, a little small town called Camden, Mississippi. I grew up there for the first 20 years of my life. Then I moved to Lansing, Michigan. And yes, it's very cold for this little girl from the South. So I stayed there, needless to say, 1 year. Then I moved to Dallas, Texas. From Texas, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and then back to Texas again. Since coming back to Texas, I've gained a beautiful daughter-in-law and two wonderful grandchildren whom I love very much. Now today, I'm going to share with you 4 objects that will help you to get to know me a little bit better. The first object is the Bible. I use this in my life daily, and I hope this is what people recognize about me. I love reading the Bible, and I love learning from the Bible. As one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I try hard to apply the scriptures and Bible principles in my life daily. I also enjoyed going into the community and talking to the different ones that I meet about scriptures, as well as helping them to come to know their Creator a little bit better, and also hopefully helping them to improve their lives spiritually. And that brings me to my second object. Now this object is a picture of this alto saxophone. This is something that's hidden about me. I enjoy any music that features this horn. I enjoy music such as jazz, R&B, and country music. Yes, I said country music. As growing up in high school, I played this instrument and I was first chair. And whenever my family and I get together in Mississippi, when growing up or friends today, we listen to music and I enjoy it very much. And especially music that features the alto saxophone. Now music can bring you joy, it can bring you happiness, and yes, it can tell a story. And that brings me to my third object, which is this rock. Now this is what someone said, how they told me they view me. This rock is hard, this rock is sometimes not movable, and then it can be not flexible. And they said that once I get my mind made up about something, it's hard for me to change. And so I totally disagree with them. Now, if you want me to do something, all you have to do is explain it to me in a way that makes sense to me, a way that I can understand it. And if it's something that I agree with, I'm more than willing to compromise. I'm more than willing to be yielding, even yielding for the sake of peace. Now that brings me to my fourth item, which is this mixing bowl. A friend of mine said this is how she viewed me. And I said, So I come from a long line of cooks on both sides of my family. My grandmothers on each side are very, very good cooks. And whenever we would get together at family gatherings in Mississippi, I have a large family, there was always plenty of food. Food brings us together, and we would oftentimes share a wonderful meal. We would listen to music and just associate and be with each other. And so my mother continued that tradition with my family, and she taught me and my sisters how to cook. And so as a result of that, I try to continue that with my children as well as my friends. And so whenever we get together, guess what? Mary is cooking. And so I love to cook. Basically, I bake goods and any kind of food. Well, we get together and we share a meal. This is a time that brings us together. And even though we don't have as much time to do it as I did growing up in Mississippi, whenever we do get to spend time together, I cherish those moments. Now, as you have seen, the objects that I used to describe myself, which was the Bible, this picture of the saxophone, this rock, and also this mixing bowl. You can see that these items are unique in themselves, but we know that they can all be beneficial. They can all be useful in bringing people together and uniting different ones. And so even with this rock-like attitude, if it's flexible, if it's compromising, if it's yielding, it can be proved to be beneficial to all. Thank you all for listening to my speech. You've been a great audience.